you're serious about weight loss, you've probably heard about intermittent fasting and wondered how it differs from regular dieting. Hi, I'm Dr. Radha, and I'm here to talk about the science behind intermittent fasting. The most important thing to know about intermittent fasting is that this is not a diet. It's an eating strategy where you alternate between periods of absolute fasting or calorie restriction and periods of normal and unrestricted eating. Why is this effective? When we fast, our bodies use up glucose and glycogen and switch to a fat burning mode that is explained by Randall cycle proposed in 1963. Intermittent fasting schedules vary. You can fast on alternative days, which is the most studied diet on weekend, the 5:2 diet popularized by Michael Morsley in 2012. Or restrict calories to an 8-hour window in a day, 16-8 diet. Does intermittent fasting work? And is it better than the traditional balanced low-calorie diet? Most studies that have looked at intermittent fasting have not compared with a calorie restricted diet. So one cannot say that intermittent fasting has an additional advantage. Short-term studies show that intermittent fasting can cause weight loss of a few kilos and improve body composition and metabolic parameters. A review in 2015 looked at alternative day fasting and whole day fasting. The study found that alternative day fasting, trials of 3 to 12 weeks in a duration reduce body weight approximately 3 to 7%, body fat approximately 3 to 5.5 kgs, total cholesterol approximately 10 to 21%, and triglycerides 14 to 42% in normal weight, overweight, and obese humans. Whole day fasting trials of 12 to 24 weeks also reduce body weight approximately 3 to 9% and body fat and favorably improve blood lipids 5 to 20% reduction and total cholesterol 17 to 50% in triglycerides. The absence of a low-calorie diet comparator in these studies means we cannot say whether these effects are because of calorie restriction or a specific diet effect of the intermittent fasting regime. The few studies that have looked at this issue conclude that there is no difference between an intermittent fasting regime and a traditional calorie restricted diet. One study by Harvey in 2013 suggested that although intermittent fasting and daily energy restriction were equivalent in terms of weight loss, intermittent fasting caused more fat loss, an effect that is not explained by calorie restriction alone. Importantly, intermittent fasting does not appear to induce a behavior of binge eating on non-fasting days. In fact, two trials in 2011 and 2013 show that it leads to significant calorie restriction even on feast days. One concern with fasting diets is the effect on muscle mass. Intermittent fasting is reassuring in this regard. One study in young resistant trained men showed that the 16:8 diet resulted in fat loss and preserved muscle mass and endurance training. Resistant training can have a synergistic effect with this diet, but the question to think is whether we can see the same changes in a calorie restricted diet with exercise. One study in 2016 found that alternative day fasting was better than traditional diet over a 6-month period. But you really need studies over years to judge long-term efficacy. Some caution. Intermittent fasting is not for everybody. It has not been studied in any chronic diseases, and there is no data on long-term safety and effectiveness. It's not safe for diabetics, pregnant and breastfeeding women, those who need to take medication with food at regular intervals, children and adolescents. It can lead to an unhealthy fixation with food and lead to eating disorders like bulimia nervosa. Hopefully, in the future, there will be long-term studies that look at safety and efficacy, which is what we need to make a stronger recommendation about this strategy. Thank you.